So, Andrew Sherry, welcome.
Thank you.
Andrew, what does Melbourne City Mission contribute to the state?
Melbourne City Mission is Victoria's oldest charity. It's been around for 165 years. It has got a long history, and through that history has become a very large and very diverse organisation. It runs anywhere upwards of 70 to 80 different programs, three main categories of services: homelessness and justice services. We have our own registered independent school in the Hester Hornbrook Academies. And our third part of our business is our disability business. So we are registered as an NDIS provider and offer a range of different disability services. And then on the fringes, there's things like palliative care services and early learning centres.
That will lead to a complex leadership and management set of challenges.
When you actually strip back the different offerings, there's a lot of commonality. And I think that's the bit that sometimes gets lost. Whilst there's different services that we offer and different programs, when you strip it back to, what is it that we're trying to do? The type of questions, the type of information that we're gathering and capturing is often the same. Yeah. And that's the bit that I think, we're certainly focusing on, is trying to draw out those similarities and be able to come up with standardized processes.
Andrew, you've been hit, as we all have, with the impact of the pandemic. First of all, the health implications in a direct sense, and then the work from home in a subsequent sense.
There's no doubt we're all challenged with the social limitations and being homebound. Melbourne City Mission has got a very diverse set of offerings, and a lot of them have been delivered in a face-to-face environment. Yeah. We've had to very quickly transition those service offerings to be able to offer those same services, but in a remote capacity. Within our homelessness and justice space, it's a little bit harder. Youth refuges need to stay open. There needs to be a personal contact. But a lot of the support services, case management and other support services, are being done remotely. We've made a significant investment in technology, mobility, to help our ability to be more effective in the way we deliver services. We haven't had to close or severely compromise not one program. It's actually proven or actually debunked a lot of old myths around how we operate. Through crisis often comes invention and creativity. It's amazing how quickly and how resilient the organisation has been to adapt to new ways of doing things and continue to deliver a great service, albeit differently, but if not as good as, so in some cases even better. Just because of the way people are wanting to be engaged. One example that was given to me where there was a cooking lesson that was given over Skype. The participant who normally would cook in their own home, and our support worker was on the other side of the video conference, and they were making hot cross buns. And so I thought that was fantastic. It was an imaginative way of continuing to engage and interact.
What are the key lessons that you've learned from these early days with the pandemic that might be helpful for others to consider as they're working it through?
Be upfront with what you can do and what you can't do. There's a lot of organisations out there that have got experience at putting in rapid solutions where you can't. Really try and identify some of those gaps in your solution, the way you go about doing business, that you can actually use technology or just be able to adapt your business processes to really continue to deliver the great work the community absolutely needs.
Andrew, the potential elephant in the room might be just productivity. How's that playing out for MCM?
Look, I think that's a challenge for all of us. I think for me personally, a lot of it comes down to trying to establish a new routine, start work at the same time, have your meeting schedules in place. We have a number of KPIs that we monitor, particularly those fee-for-service areas in the disability space, but also within our homelessness space, where we monitor the activity that's taking place. It's not Big Brother wanting to know what someone is doing. It's actually more about health and well-being. What can we do to help support that person be as productive as they can? And everyone's individual circumstances are going to be different. They may have a family that they're looking after. They may have a sick partner at home that they're trying to tend for, yet at the same time trying to be at work. The two key messages: try and have a bit of routine as best as you can, but also from an organisation and a team leader perspective, you've got to allow a little bit of flexibility.
Do you think you'll see mergers and acquisitions through the community sector off the back of all of that?
I mean, mergers and acquisitions in this sector are challenging at the best of times, given the corporate structures and the wanting to preserve identity. Organisations will need to take a hard look at themselves and say, look, can we still go at this alone? I think it's more about collaboration and actually being able to leverage off each other's capabilities. I think it's probably more the better analogy. I think there's so much opportunity to be able to work together to be able to offer even more services or be able to continue to deliver, as good a service, but just in a different way. It could be organisations that start to form strategic alliances. We don't have to be the best at everything. You have to work out what you're really good at and deliver that exceptionally well, and then find other organisations that can bring other services or other pieces of the puzzle.
Well, thank you, Andrew Sherry from Melbourne City Mission. Great to have you join us today and really appreciate your insights and taking the time to share with us.
Thanks for the opportunity to share some thoughts and be able to converse on these kinds of issues.